Hey GED students, it's GED question of the daytime. And oh my goodness, does this ever look typical of the GED? We got a word problem combined with a table. Make sure when you're doing your word problems like this, you've got a calculator with you because those appear on the calculator section of the GED. I've got mine. Have you got yours? Let's go. It says the table gives information about a local swim team. Okay. Use the table to determine the percentage of swimmers who are under 13 years old. Okay. So what am I looking for here? I'm looking for the percentage. They're asking me to find a percent. Now, the percentage of what? Of swimmers. So we're looking at the swimmers who are under 13 years old. We want to compare the group of swimmers who are under 13 years old to the total group of swimmers. Now, I have, 4 different ways to find a percent, and I teach different ways depending on what semester it is. But a lot of times when it's a word problem, my favorite way is just to start with the ratio, because ratios make sense to students. Ratios are fractions, and you might be saying, Kate, fractions never made sense to me. I'm not talking about adding, subtracting fractions. I'm just talking about writing them. And then once I have it as a ratio, converting it into that very special type of ratio, a percentage, which is just a ratio out of 100%. That's all or out of 100. That's all a percentage is. It's a special ratio that is compared to 100. So let's start with just a regular ratio. So if I'm looking for the percentage of swimmers who are under 13 years old, what I'm doing is I'm comparing those who are under 13 to the total group, and the total here would be all the swimmers. So I want in my fraction the number of students who are under 13 to be on top and the total number of swimmers to be on the bottom. Okay, let's go looking for the information we need now that we've made a plan. Okay, so how many swimmers are under 13? Well, taking a look at my table here, I can see that I have the Yavapai County swim team, and I have some divisions with some ages. Okay, I have children 5 to 8. Juniors 9 to 12, and teens 13 to 18. So if I'm considering those only under 13, I'd be looking at the junior and the children's divisions. Okay, and how many swimmers does that represent? We'll take a look at your row titles. Here's my registration fee, but here's my number of swimmers. So how many swimmers are 5 to 8? 17. How many swimmers are 9 to 12? 15. So if I wanted all of those guys together, because all of those guys are under 13, I would have to add them together. And let's see, what would I get? You can add it up in your TI, but that would be 32. And I have this fear of making stupid mistakes on the internet only because I've made them before. So let me try it too in my calculator. Yes, 17 plus 15 is the 32. So I have 32 swimmers that are under 13. But remember, when you are looking at a ratio, you're comparing that piece or that part to the total. And so I need to know the total number of swimmers now. So now I'm going to have to do the work to find all my swimmers. So all my swimmers would be the children, the juniors, and the teens. So let's add them up. I already had 32 for the children's plus the juniors. So let me add 28 to that, and I get 60. So what did I just figure out? I just figured out that 32 swimmers are under 13 out of 60 total swimmers. Now, this answer is obviously not a percent. This is a ratio, but because ratios and percents are related, percents are just special ratios, it's really easy to convert from one to the other. The way that you turn any number into a percent is by multiplying by 100%. Now you might be thinking, Kate, I can't do that by hand. I don't know how to multiply fractions. Maybe you can. Well, you can also do it in your TI calculator. Here's how to do it in the calculator. You type in 32 over 60, and then you use the green percent convert to percent button. So because it's green, you'll need to hit second first. You'll need to hit the second button as your first step. And then you'll hit that closed parentheses, because right above the closed parentheses is a convert to percent. So there we go. Even if I can't do it by hand, I can sure do it in a calculator. So I type 32 over 60 using the N over D button, and then second convert to percent, and I get this long nasty number 53.333, yada yada yada. It goes on and on, percent. And looking at this, I'm feeling a little guilty because I didn't give you any rounding directions. Use the table. I'm going back and reading this. Use the table to determine the percentage of swimmers who are under 13 years old. Okay, so no specific rounding directions. If this were on the GED, it would probably be multiple choice, so you wouldn't have to figure out where to round it to. But, you know, I'll just approximate. It's about 53%. All right, if you have any questions about this or any other GED math topic, be sure to drop it in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it.